In this video, we'll take a look at the clip play mode available in PXT-Live. Clip play allows you to manipulate and play clips in a variety of ways. This is split into two submodes, a poly submode where you can operate on multiple clips at the same time, and a mono submode where you can operate on one clip at a time. You could select between these with the add effect and add track buttons respectively. Both of these submodes share some of the same functionality in common. I'm going to show you these in the mono submode as it's a bit easier to see what's going on there. The first is clip chopping. With clip chopping, the pads will be assigned to evenly distributed start points based on the length of the clip. If the clip is looping, just the section within the loop brace will be taken into account. If the clip is not looping, then the entire length of the clip would be taken into account. Upon pressing a pad that's assigned to clip chopping, the clip start marker will move to the start point associated with that pad, and the clip will be re-triggered. Now this involves quantization, so you can actually select the quantization to use with the resolution buttons here. You can select anywhere from a quarter note down to a 30-second note. Both of the submodes also provide clip loop control, and this is somewhat similar to clip chopping. The pads will be assigned to evenly distributed loop start positions and lengths, and you can then move the length and position around, and this supports multiple button presses to allow different lengths to be set. As I mentioned before, for clips that are looping, the clip chop controls will be based on the length of the clip's loop. So these two sections, the clip loop control and the clip chop control, can be used in conjunction with each other. With the clip loop controls, you can choose the section of the clip that you'll chop up with the clip chopping controls. I'll give you an example of this with the mono submode. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'll play a clip all the way through, and then I'll start chopping it up, and I'll change the loop position and chop it up a little bit more so you can see how these work in conjunction with each other. I'll also add a drum beat just to give it a bit more context. As you can see in that example, in the mono submode, the upper 32 pads are assigned to clip chopping, while the lower 32 pads are assigned to clip loop control. The pads in this submode have some additional functionality. They can also play audio clips chromatically. Here, the upper 32 pads will play ascending pitches, while the lower 32 pads play descending pitches. Here's an example. In this submode, the third line of the display shows the name of the track and clip being controlled. Alright, this submode operates on the selected clip. You can also lock it to a particular clip. That way you maintain control over that clip even as you navigate around. The fourth line of the display shows the functions that are assigned to the track select buttons. The first is loop, which will toggle the clip's loop on and off. Next is lock, which we already saw. And the last will switch between clip chopping and loop control and chromatic functionality. The track state buttons function as a visual metronome. The stop button will stop the clip if it's playing or launch it if not. If pressed quickly, the mute button will toggle the mute status of the track. If held down, it'll function as a momentary switch. The solo button works the same way except for the track solo button. The select button will toggle the arm status of the track. Select plus delete will delete the clip, and select plus quantize will quantize the clip. Much of the functionality in the poly submode is very similar to what we just saw in the mono submode. The primary difference is that instead of controlling one clip, you'll be controlling 8 clips at a time, clips on the 8 tracks that Push is currently controlling. By default, the pads will be assigned to clip chopping. Each column of pads will control a clip, and the columns use alternating colors so you can differentiate between clips. If you press add effect, that'll switch to clip loop control. And here again, each column of buttons controls a clip and alternating colors are used. The clips that you'll be controlling are the clips that are playing on the tracks. If you press the shift button, you'll switch to a mode that's similar to Push's session mode. And here you can launch clips or launch scenes with the scene launch buttons, and this way you can change which clips you're controlling. The third line of the display shows the names of the clips that you're currently controlling. The fourth line of the display shows track names. By default, the track select buttons will toggle the clip's loop on and off. If delete is pressed, they'll delete clips. And if quantize is pressed, they'll quantize clips. The select button will switch the track select buttons to select mode. If you press this quickly, it'll toggle select mode on, and if you hold it down, you'll just momentarily be in select mode. In select mode, the track select buttons select tracks, and if a track is already selected, they'll toggle the arm status of the track. By default, the track state buttons function as a visual metronome. The mute button will switch them to mute mode. If you press this quickly, you'll toggle into mute mode, and if you hold it down, you'll just be in mute mode momentarily. In mute mode, the buttons will toggle the mute status of tracks, and if you hold them down, they function as momentary switches. The solo button switches to solo mode, and that works the same way as mute mode except for solo switches. And the stop button will switch to stop mode, and here the buttons will stop clips that they're playing or launch them if not.